back to the channel of Pro Enzo Vids, and this is my round 17 NRL tips for 2022. So again, this is the final sort of round that we have 4 games to the season, as this is the last round of Game 3 of State of Origin. So yeah, obviously 4 games. Obviously you want to try and watch as much footy as possible for the weekend, but because obviously because of having just them games on this week, only 4, we got to go by it. But I think, just despite having less games, I think it's still going to be a pretty good round. Look at the games like Sharks and the Storm should be a blockbuster on Thursday night. Knights Rabbitohs should be a decent game in my opinion. I think that can go either way with players being out for both sides. Eels Tigers will be interesting to see how Parramatta bounce back and your Tigers coming at Leichhardt. And then Sunday, you've got the Broncos and the Dragons at Suncorp, which Broncos have like 11 or 10 players out, whereas Dragons have Ben Hunt out, who's a huge loss. So a lot of even games here, I think, a lot of 50-50 games. So I'm looking forward to it. But before I start, make sure to subscribe to the channel because I'm currently at 2,096 subs. So I want to try and get to that goal of 2,100. It's been taking a little while to get there, but I'm still appreciating the growth of my channel, and I'm appreciating everyone that has subscribed. I mean, it means a lot to myself and the channel, and yeah, just I really do appreciate the new support and always the feedback and the comments I read every time. So thank you. But yeah, getting to the video now. This is my round 17 NRL tips for 2022. So the very first game is the Storm and the Sharks at PointsBet Stadium. So on to the first game, Sharks and Storm at PointsBet Stadium there in Cronulla on a Thursday night at 7:50 p.m. So like I said, should be a decent game. Both sides have players out, so due to origin reasons. So yeah, it should be interesting to see where the game is won, because I can't see Melbourne losing back-to-back games, but they actually could with the players out. But as for Sharks, Sharks have been a little bit inconsistent recently, but they been good at they've been good at home, so I'll give them a fair chance. But look at the Sharks' team. They're only without Talakai. So Talakai's out for Origin, which means Connor Tracy replaces him in the centres, and Brandon Trindle's 18th man. As for the Storm, Dean Aaron comes to the wing for Nick Meaney, and Nick Meaney moves to 5'8", with Munster still being out, and Daniel Kareem dropping to 18th man, and Brandon Smith will start hooker in favour of Harry Grant. My tip for this game, I've got the Sharks winning by 6 because of Melbourne having no Munster still, and yeah, I think they'll be just a bit too strong in my opinion. So Sharks to win. Anytime try scorers, Katoa and Bulatalo will score. I think I could see, it's a tough one. I think close to the line, I could see Royce Hunt bashing in for a try. And for the Storm, I think Justin Olam will score. I think Pappenhausen will score a try, and Brandon Smith will score as well. Alright, on to the next game. It is the Knights versus the Rabbitohs at McDonald Jones Stadium there in Newcastle. Yep, so 7:55 p.m. on a Friday. Yeah, look, like I said, it should be an interesting game. Can go either way. Knights have players out as well as Souths for Origin week. So yeah, no, you can go either way. Literally, you can go either way. Getting through both sides now. So as for the Knights, there's two huge ins for the Knights. Jayden Browley has been named on the bench to make his first game this year and returning from a Achilles injury. So that's a big in for the Knights there. Braden Best elbow is also back on deck, and he will replace Dane Gagai in the left centre role because Gagai's out for Origin for Queensland, and who joins Callum Pong in the Queensland camp, Gagai. And Tex Hoy will again wear the fullback jersey, whereas Simi Sasagi goes from the bench to 18th man. As for the Rabbitohs, Campbell Graham is out after suffering a facial fracture against the Eels, and his place is taken by Tane Milne. Jaime hamstring is also out, replaced by Tom Burgess, and in the starting side with David Mwali joining the bench. And Havili takes over for Damien Hooker, and Mark Nichols comes in at lock for Cameron Murray, who's out for Origin. Yeah, a game that can go either way, but I'm going to go with the Rabbitohs here. I think I can trust Souths a bit more. Knights have been good, and Knights, I think, are a fair chance of winning, but I think Souths with Latrell, Cody in there, I think that's enough to get in the win. So I'll go Souths by probably 12 points. And anytime try scorers, Johnson for a double or more, because I'll put the more option there as he scores heaps of tries. And I think Isaiah Tass will score 1 as well, and I think Latrell will score for South. And as for Knights, Dominic Young will get 1, Braden Best will score on his return, and in the back row, I reckon Frizzell's going to crash over for a try close to the line. And now on to Super Saturday. The only game of Super Saturday is the Tigers and the Eels taking on each other at Leichhardt Oval at 7:55 p.m. the 9th of July. A game where I think that the Tigers can definitely win if they turn up with the right attitude, because that Leichhardt, and I think usually they play alright at Leichhardt, just for when it's a big occasion they often turn up. But other than that, home ground advantage, can't get any better than that, so they should be up for it. As for Parramatta, well, it's hard to get around Parramatta because they dominate the big sides, but then when they play the shit sides, or I should say the mediocre sides, they don't, recap any of that form. So it'll be interesting, and I think, they'll definitely want to bounce back after the loss to South. So getting through the teams now. So as for the Tigers, James Tamou returns after being a late withdrawal from the Warriors game with a calf injury. James Tamou's return sees Seifa drop out of the side, while impressive rookie Fanua Pole keeps his place on the bench, and Amdui returns to the starting side in the centres in expense of James Roberts. And Justin Matamua makes his NRL debut on the bench, which is good for him, and Jacob Little is back in the side too. As for the Eagles, Junior Paulo will be in the Blues camp, so Moroni Okore steps up into the starting side, and Ryan Madison returns at lock after missing round 16 with a rib injury, and Clint Gutherson part of the Brad Fittler's Blues squad, so he'll be alright to play. But my tip for this game, I'm going to go with the Eels here. I think the Eels will bounce back, and if they don't win, then they're in trouble. But I think they'll win by about 16 points. Gutherson for a try, Sivo, Penasini, Papali'i will score, and I think Reed Marnie might get one too. And as for the Tigers, Nofaluma will get one, Mamalo, and a little bit of a roughie, Luke Garner in the back row. Now on to the final game of the round. It is the Broncos take on the Dragons at Suncorp Stadium at 4:05 p.m. on Sunday. So Sunday footy at Suncorp, can't get any better than that. Obviously the conditions are always good there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be an interesting game, this one. I mean, if Broncos win, they can continue to solidify their spots in the top 8. As for the Dragons, yeah, if they win, they keep the spot in the top 8 as well. So it's a very important game for both sides, I reckon, this one. But yeah, it would only go either way. But yeah, look at the teams now. So Broncos are without Kurt Capel, Selwyn Cobbo, and Pat Carrigan and Thomas Flegler this weekend, as well as T. Murray Martin and Corey Jensen because of origin and injuries. So that's awful that they've got that many injuries and players out. So Tessie New takes over at fullback, and Jordan Pereira on the wing will play against his old club, and Keenan Palacia and Ryan James are the new props. And Payne Haas is out for Origin Game 3 of an AC joint, so he's out too. Zach Hosking will make his NRL debut in the back row. I've heard that name for a couple of years now, so good to see him get an opportunity. And Jordan Ricky, alongside Jordan Ricky in the back row of Hosking, and Kobe Hetherington into the starting lock role for Carrigan. And and Corey Pakes and Tyson Gamble return for the Broncos on the bench. And then as for the Dragons now, Ben Hunt is the only change for the Dragons, with him being out because of Origin, and Jaden Sullivan's at halfback with Tyler Talmone at 5'8", and Matt Fiacchi has been named to play despite having a knee injury, so he's going to play through that, I think. But getting through my tip now, I think the Broncos will be too strong despite having all those players out. I think Adam Reynolds is going to be enough for them to win the game. I mean, have an actual real halfback, whereas Dragons have Amon and Sullivan, who are good young players, but no real game organisers. So I'm going to go the Broncos by about 4 points here. I think they'll win in a tight one, and my anytime try scorers are Oates Staggs on that left side, and yeah, I think Brenko Lee might get one too. And I reckon on debut, Zach Hosking will get a try and debut. I think Zach Hosking will get a try and debut. And as for the Dragons, I think Moses Suli will get one. Ravalawa will score one. And I think I'll go with Lomax who will try too. So everyone, that's my round 17 NRL tips for 2022. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your tips in the comment section down below. So thanks for watching. See you next time.